I got this. One of the grave diggers sent me this communication that was on a public server. We didn't hack anybody's accounts to get into this. This was on a public server. I blanked out all the names here because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Don't want to get anybody fired. That's not the goal. But what happened is my whole perception got changed. There's some altering information in this back and forth. Mind altering information, at least for me. Maybe I'm just a dumbass that I caught on late to this. But when I looked at this communication and what this is someone who was just hired by Scopely, came into a public Marvel Strike Force server, one of the big content creators, that's as much as I'm going to say. And they were like, hey, Scopely, I just got a job at Scopely. I'm going to be a developer. They told me, I think I should go play their top games, right? I don't know if he's going to work on Marvel Strike Force or what, but he's like, I got a job at Scopely. I want to learn how they operate. I want to check out their flagship games. I'm into Marvel stuff. Let me do this, okay? And he's asking the people in the forum, hey, what do I do? I just started up. He had an account. He hadn't played in a while. He had lapsed. And his main question was, should I start over? Should I use what I have? I don't know what his ultimate decision was, but the thing that really altered my mind on this whole thing and changed my perception of what I should be expecting from Marvel Strike Force and gave me the cost of the game. Mr. Hargrave's been out here bitching about this game now for almost a year, publicly. I bitched about it in private long before I came out here in public. But one of my main complaints is, how much does it cost? How much does Marvel Strike Force supposed to cost? Is it $20 a month, $40? Okay, this developer, and these are the people they hire, and this is what kind of got into my brain. This is what, the door was open, the light flipped on. The people they hire are Marvel game, or mobile game. I don't know if you want to call them addicts, but let's say heavy spenders, okay? Heavy spenders. This guy's budget for mobile games is $500 a month. That's the cost. Because that's who they're hiring. That's who's developing your game. The developers of this game, and it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't know why I was thinking of the developers of the game as my peers. I don't know why the fuck I would ever think that. But for some reason, when I think about the developers, I think about a guy like me, professional guy in IT, right? I know it's crazy to you. To me, it's crazy too. But to these guys, it's normal. And that's why the game is the way it is. That's why they're hiring these guys. Because they don't have any moral problems with this shit. Why would they? It's what they do. Because their salary, quite honestly, is triple or more. Quadruple what I make in a year is your average developer salary. So for someone who makes quadruple what I make, and let's say you don't have kids, you don't have a family, say you live in your mom's basement, just typical profiling, typical normal developers. What's the big deal, man? What's the big deal, man? $500 a month? What? Get good, motherfucker, get good. That's who they're hiring. And that's why the game is the way it is. And that's what the game costs. So when we complain about the new player experience, they don't give a fuck about you unless you spend $500 a month. Same way Mr. Hargrave don't give a fuck about you if you've only been playing the game for a year. I don't give a shit. Just like they don't give a shit. And they shouldn't. Why the fuck do they care? They spend $500 a month. So the developers of Marvel Strike Force play Marvel Strike Force. No, they do not play the same way we play. They spend $500 a month on it. And so a lot of the problems that we have with Marvel Strike Force, they will never have. And also, they will never care about your problems. If your problems can be solved with $500 a month. That's why they only really listen to the whales and the krakens who are also spending the same amount they're spending. All those new player problems that you have. This character isn't available. That isn't available. Power leap, power creep, this, that, the other. Dude, $500 a month solves all that shit. Just solves all that shit. Yellow Jacket's hard to farm? Fuck, he is. When his offer comes up, I buy the offer. New players get all kinds of great new offers. Power cores, character shards. There's all this shit to convert new players into spenders, into $500 a month spenders, because that's the game is designed for. The cost of Marvel Strike Force is $500 per month. And that's fine. As long as, we all understand that. Players of the game. You who like to complain. Me who likes to complain. Understand that this game costs $500. We're allowed here in with these guys with their disposable income, living in their grandma's basement, whatever the fuck is going on, where $500 a month doesn't bother them. We're playing it with them, right? We're just hanging out for the ride, okay? That's what's going on here. This was very enlightening to me. Some other points in here is that they really only care about that. So like if you're not spending $500 a month, if you're not a new player, nobody gives a shit. Like the rest of the stuff will fall into place over time. If you spend, you're going to keep spending. Sunk cost fallacy. They know all this shit. It's not secret. The people that they're hiring are just like this. Yeah, Marvel simps that defend gambling microtransactions. That's who they're hiring. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Or a lot of this shit wouldn't happen. This is why when you have these developer interviews and all this shit that the community does, or fucking Nick Cerebro is one of them, man. That's why he's on the forums like, $200 Wolverine costume? Yeah, I bought that shit. I'm $500 a month. What the fuck do I care? You can trust me, I'm Mr. Heartgrave Gravediggers. This is what it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, and keep digging.
Down before the one you serve, you're going to get what you deserve. Bow down before the one you serve, you're going to get what you deserve.